guys, Matt Mardigan here. In this preview of XAI 3.4, I'll be focusing on the battle mechanics and how well the XAI uses those. What I've done here is captured some in-game footage of both the vanilla AI and XAI for a quick comparison. I'll briefly go over the vanilla AI, then go into a more detailed dissection of the XAI. Let's go ahead and get started. I've used the map La Village for both battles, and both battles contain very similar or the same units. Okay, with unit placement, I've gone with a very basic setup here. I mean, let's face it, the vanilla AI doesn't require much in that department. Basically what's happening here is both armies are lining up toe-to-toe, and we're going to shoot it out for a while. Now ultimately, the AI is at a disadvantage here because I have 3 archers to his 2. All in all, what ends up happening is I decimate his military force by 2/3 the size. I want you to take quick note of the battle odds bar located in the lower left-hand side of the screen. Right now it's showing an equal amount of favor for both sides. When this shootout is over, it's going to show a drastic change in my favor. So after shifting my cavalry, the AI decides that now is a good time to attack. Uphill and with 1/3 the size of his army remaining. At this point to counter, I'm just going to send all my units forward. I don't have to plan or strategize anything. I know I'm going to win this. In the end, I've lost 312 men, while the passive broken AI has lost 1,298. Let's go ahead and get started with the XAI preview battle. Now we can get to the cool part, XAI. The units in the map are the same, but the AI is very much improved. With XAI, I've found by trial and error that you need to be quite particular in your unit placement. So with that in mind, I've set up my Swiss pikemen in the front and center, in a spear wall formation and in a defensive stance. Sergeant spearmen on the pikemen's flanks, also in a defensive stance. I've got my shock troops set up in the right and left flanks supporting the spearmen. Now I've placed them there with the intentions of encircling the enemy once we've clashed and locked lines. I've got my cavalry placed in the far right and left flanks. Then I've placed my general in the far rear of the formation. In regards to my general's location, I've placed him very carefully so that I can pivot the battle lines and take control over one of the flanks. In my experience with XAI, I've learned that this is a strategy that you need to take into careful consideration. As you can see, the AI is setting up his battle lines for a unit-to-unit matchup. This simple action is the first of many that give XAI an advantage over the vanilla AI. Now the battle has begun. Now you'll notice something very simplistic and exciting at the same time. The AI is engaging me. This is something the vanilla AI had very rarely done. So I've decided to leave my archers out front to fire off as many rounds as they can before the AI closes the gap. Now because I've methodically placed my spearmen as the frontline backbone, it strategically forced the AI to send up its frontline shock troops first. Since the AI has done this, I need to attempt to counter his shock troops with my shock troops so that I can protect my spearmen and use them later against the cavalry. Now after a quick assessment of the situation, I've decided to send out my cavalry units to pin his cavalry units and immobilize them for the time being. Now my cavalry is weaker than theirs, so I have to keep that in mind, and I have to adjust accordingly. On my right flank, I've decided to move my spearmen in to attack his cavalry on the right flank. On my left flank, I really don't have the option of using the spearmen, so I've decided to take my general over and help them out. Now at this point, the battle lines are just about to clash and lock up. Since my general's already on the left flank, I need to try to control and dominate that side. I'm going to try to pivot off that point. Now during battle, the AI will continuously assess the situation and try to counter my actions as I make them. You can actually see the AI take units that are currently engaged and maneuver them into a new position to reallocate their pivotal strength on the battle lines. This level of active involvement from the AI makes for an extremely fun and engaging battle. Now I'm going to skip ahead in the battle here, but essentially what happens during this time is the AI plays this cat and mouse game with me. It stays toe-to-toe with me and fights me tooth and nail. It ultimately gives this grinding effect. We both lose a lot of units on both sides. Now if you'll pay attention to the battle assessment bar located in the lower left corner, you'll see that it's been bouncing back and forth from side to side. During the course of this battle, I've actually felt like I was going to lose several times, and this indicator has shown that. At this point in the battle, we both have units routing off the field. I still don't know if I'm going to win this. I've never had a battle with the vanilla AI come down to this. It just goes to show you the working mechanics of the XAI and how well it uses them. Now, after a long, hard-fought battle, I've won this. In the end of all things, I lost 1,073 men against the AI's 1,383 men. This is an extreme and drastic change from the vanilla AI. That concludes this portion of the XAI 3.4 preview. Be sure to pop into the forums from time to time and check on the updated information on a release date.